Welcome to this podcast. I'm Cole Larsh, and my topic today will be some the MVP race for the NFL, the contenders, their stats, who I think will win. So, first with minus 2,500 odds for the money line is Lamar Jackson to win. His stats this year passing, he's 230 for 347. 66% completion rate with 2,600 yards. This was before his last game, just so you know. Averaged 7.7 yards, 28 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Then up next, Russell Wilson. His odds are plus 900. He is 280 for 419, 66% completion, 3,422 yards, 26 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. And then up next we have Patrick Mahomes at plus 3,300 to win the MVP. His passing stats this year, 280 for 426, 65% completion rate, 3,600 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. And then we go to Deshaun Watson is next. His odds are plus 4,000 if you were to bet on him right now. He has 295 for 436, 67% completion rate, 3,400 yards, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and then, that's it. And then you can look at some of the rushing stats, but nobody really compares to Lamar Jackson in that instance. Lamar Jackson has rushed 151 times for 1,000 yards. He broke Michael Vick's single-season rushing record for a quarterback. He has, Russell Wilson, he's rushed 62 times for 312 yards. Deshaun Watson has rushed 68 times for 344 yards. And Patrick Mahomes has rushed 34 times for 183 yards and a touchdown. Lamar Jackson has 7 rushing touchdowns. Deshaun Watson has 7 rushing touchdowns. Russell Wilson has 3 rushing touchdowns. So I will now go into who I believe will win the MVP between these 4. I personally don't even think it will be really close at all. I think Lamar Jackson is going to run away with it. I believe he will run away with it just like Joe Burrow ran away with the Heisman. Joe Burrow, by the way, won the Heisman if you did not know that. When you look at his stats for Lamar Jackson, they just don't compare to others, and obviously his passing stats, his yardage is less than all of them. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, his rushing yards counteract that. And when you get like a dual threat player like that, such as Lamar Jackson, not saying that Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, and Patrick Mahomes aren't good, because they are very good players, they just don't compare to Lamar Jackson in this instance. When you look at it, when you have almost 3,000 passing yards and 1,200 rushing yards, that just makes a big difference in when you're playing in defenses that play you and they have to worry about you, and then you have some good receivers and a good running back you can hand it off to. It makes a really big difference. Now, Russell Wilson, he has by far the most passing yards. He has the most passing yards by 300 out of the 3. But when you look at it, they really don't have that much of a run game. And they have Chris Carson at the running back. But one person that really stands out to me is Deshaun Watson, because I think a lot of the times he's getting credit because when you look at their offense, they really don't have much other than passing for their team, and he has some good wide receivers to throw it to. That's why he's really standing out this year. And Patrick Mahomes, he kind of came out of nowhere lately. He's now third favorite to win the MVP, but I don't think he will, in my opinion. He's still a really good player. He's kind of had an up and down year, but when you look at his yards, 3,600, and only 4 interceptions. You can win quite a few games when you only have 4 turnovers, because you fumble a lot less than you throw picks, in my opinion. But he has 3 fumbles this year so far. But yeah, and I think Lamar Jackson going to run away with the MVP this year. That's just my personal opinion. I think Lamar is he's just that good, and they have other threats. Mark Ingram is one of them. They both had really good games last week, so I think Lamar Jackson going to win the MVP, and I don't really think it's going to be close. So that's all I have for this short little podcast. Who I think is going to win the MVP. So see you next time.